Hey, welcome back to another edition of Babyface Brew Review. My name is Alex. I am your host and guide, walking you through a super special beer here today, and that's none other than the Waldos 420 Special Ale by the good folks at Lagunitas Brewing Company, Petaluma, California, Chicago, Illinois, and now Azusa, California as well. They just opened up a tap room in Ballard over in Seattle, in my backyard here. Super stoked about that, but even more stoked to be joining you guys and gals here today reviewing this beer. One of my favorite all-time beers. This is a triple IPA, clocks in 11.9% ABV, pushing 100 plus IBUs. This thing is just massive. Just a massive beer, just super hoppy, really dank all around. Really awesome accolades as well to back this thing up. Getting into that, the good folks at Beer Advocate give it a 96 overall, which puts it in the world-class category, and the Alstrom Bros give it a 90. The folks at Rate Beer give it a 99 overall and a 98 in the style, and then Untapped, the 2017 version from like 530 reviews or whatnot, have it at 4.32 caps, which is super solid. God, this is my favorite time of year, 420, and not because of smoking weed purposes, because of this beer and some of the other beers that come out around this time, but predominantly this beer. This thing is just awesome stuff. And, they just started bottling it last year, was the first year they did it. It was an amazing beer, clocked in at 11.5%, so they bumped it up a little bit to 11.9. You got to watch yourself when you're drinking this thing because it's really dangerous as a triple IPA, super smooth and whatnot. But we'll get into that in the rating. Really fresh, 85th day of the year it was bottled. The Julian code is on the neck here. That puts it in March 26th. Today's date is April 5th. So over a week, just over a week old, so really fresh. This thing is just a high-octane triple IPA. Let's get into it. The Waldos Special Ale by Lagunitas Brewing Company. Yeah, this thing just pours a beautiful, like, orange, burnt orange, apple juice-looking complexion here. Really nice-looking head. Just kind of like a khaki off-white bone marrow color, super compact bubbles at the bottom, giving a little subsizzy towards the top, mild carbonation streaming up. If I swirl it around, see if we get any alcohol legs to begin with in glass lacing. Yeah, we do get some alcohol legs for sure. Wow, really nice looking beer as always. Alrighty, wow, it's just permeating out of the glass. It's just literally stinking up my room as we speak. Let's get into aroma here. Wow. Just a tropical show. Big ass pineapple notes. Peach, papaya, mango, apricot, like a cantaloupe, honeydew melon. There's like a graham crackery malt sweetness to it as well. Also getting a lot of herbaceous notes on here, like a basil quality to it almost. I really remember that from last year. There's a little bit of a dankness. I think it's more dank. I think last year's was more dank, excuse me. But this smells amazing like always. A little bit of lemon, pine as well. Really amazing smelling stuff. Cheers, prost, whatever the hell you want to call it. Let's dive into the Waldos Special Ale by Lagunitas Brewing Company. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's the level. Shit. Wow. I gotta watch myself. This thing is... Yeah, it's a big beer. Holy smokes. Up front, just like an onslaught of bitterness. If you don't like IPAs or triple IPAs, I mean, just IPAs in general, anything bitter, stay away from this thing. This is not your friend. Those 100 IBUs are present and prevalent right at the beginning. Then you get into the tropical fruit show. Big pineapple, mango, papaya. There's like that cantaloupe element to it as well. Apricot. getting like grapefruit, a little bit of grapefruit, citrus zest, like peel and lemon. Middle of the mouth, you get that graham crackery, simple syrup sweetness, and then it kind of like transitions into this like herbaceous basil note that I was talking about, almost like a vegetable, like herbal quality to it. Really, like, not really dank, but there is some dankness to it, and then you get like this piney, more herbal, vegetal, like lingering bitterness, just absolutely coating your palate. I remember it being danker last year and more basil-y, if that makes sense, but this year it's really kind of like rounded out more, but it is more bitter in my opinion from what I can recall. So, with that said, there is a little bit of alcohol heat on the back end, a smidge, but really well hidden. Lagunitas always does a phenomenal job of hiding the alcohol in all the beers they do. Obviously, you tell I'm a fanboy, with my attire and poster in my room and everything like that. But I love what they bring. I mean, $11.99 for a 6-pack. I bought a case for $55 after tax for basically a 12% beer. You cannot beat that at a local bottle store where they mark stuff up. So, really, really awesome value in regards to this thing, and the alcohol is really well hidden for 11.9%. There's no doubt about that. Getting into the mouthfeel and the body, it is a medium to full mouthfeel. There's no doubt about that. The carbonation is mild to medium at most. It's not overly carbonated, obviously, for a big beer. You can see there it is. There is a little bit of like residual sweetness because of the just because of how big of a beer it is. You got to balance out some of the hops. Obviously it's a hop show for sure, but there is like that simple syrup quality to it, which I think adds to the mouthfeel. A little bit of alcohol, like I said. There's a booziness. It finishes really, really dry. I dare I say a tad refreshing for a big ass beer. Definitely a sipper, but at the same facet, just enjoy this one. This one is phenomenal. As for a grade, this is a 97 for me. I mean, this is like the top of the list. This, like, right up there with the other double, triple IPAs. The Enjoy buys, the other prominent West Coast IPAs. This is something I look forward to every year, just because not just the story behind it, but how quality of a beer it actually is. So 97 from me. Obviously, I'm geeking out on it and acting like a fanboy, but regardless of the fact, I'd love to hear what you guys and gals think. Please leave your comments below. As always, it's very appreciated. Let's go back and forth on the Waldos. Did you think last year's was better in the bottle, or did you think this year's was better in the bottle? Let me know. Please leave those comments below. Let's go back and forth on the dialogue. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. I say it every time, but I really do. Cheers, Prost. Thank you all again for stopping by. Another edition of Babyface Brew Review.